Good evening and welcome back to Timberborn Down the Drain, where I want to start off by apologising about the last episode. I have watched the episode back and I was whining towards the end of the episode. I came to realise it as I was kind of doing it, that I was whining, complaining about how this wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, rather than looking at the options that I have to change things. And thank you to everybody who commented on the episode, giving me so many more options and choices and things to do that I didn't see and couldn't see or wouldn't see is probably a big thing there. That I tend to, and I know I do, I tend to sign off things. So like, I looked at this and went, well, this can't hang off the side. It has to sit on the side. So I just went, well, that's not what I want to do. So I just then ignore it and go, I don't need that anymore. And it works a lot of the times because I can tend to find an option that works to fix what I'm doing, but I couldn't, and it was getting frustrating. And so, yeah. However, let's look at what we can do here. So what I want to achieve is to have lumber mills on the bottom down here, okay, like this. We can run power out of this slot down into them. That's not a problem at all. We can do that. That's easy. Or we can move it, whatever. Power to that is easy. That's fine. And then on top, I want to build the right platforms to put gears on top. And then the idea would be storages would go opposite them. That's kind of the idea for it. And then if we need more, we can build another row on top of that of lumber mills. The other alternative I have is that we could do a row of lumber mills here, or maybe, let me show you the other alternative. We can go with, well, we have to go with underground piles because, well, not underground piles, but an underground pile at the end or something like that, and have lumber mills here, and then we just vertically go up with lumber mills, and then opposite we go. So this would be a lumber mill, and then on top of it would be a lumber mill, then on top would be another lumber mill. We just go up and up and up, and then here we go with gear workshops. We do the same. So gear workshop there, and then on top gear workshop. So when you're looking at it straight down, this lane here would all be lumber mills going right up into the sky. And this one here would all be gear workshops going right up in the sky. We don't need that many of them. I know that. We don't need anywhere near that many of them. Once you get about 10 lumber mills in, you're producing well enough planks to do anything you want to do. But I don't build vertically. And in a game that touts itself as, you know, you can build vertically, you can build on top of things like that, I don't ever do it. Again, because a lot of buildings you don't actually have verticality to them, but that's why you have platforms and things, and we have mods and stuff. So yeah. That's the thing. So more options for building on top. Now the awkward thing is that a lumber mill is 3 tall and a gear workshop is 2 tall. The lumber mill is 2 tall on the back here and the front here, and then these 4 tiles in the center are 3 tall, which is really awkward. So you need to go 3 high for that. And then this is 2. So we need to do that. We need to figure that one out there, and then have like storages just on the end so they all come to storage and come back in. And we'd also need storage for what they're using. So like this uses logs, so we want to have log storage nearby as well, which is fine. We could probably put that in the center. It's not an issue at all. But building on top of them becomes the complicated part. We don't have any metal, so I can't go to 3x1 platforms. I can't go to anything that uses metal right now, unless we set up metal and then wait for it to run. And okay. So I can't do that right now. That's just not a thing that we can do. So the soil platforms, the 2x1s, they do not connect to standard platforms. They'll connect to the levees, but won't connect to platforms, which was the bit that kind of annoyed me the most. I'm like, why does it not connect to platforms? It makes no sense. It is a platform. It makes no sense. Don't get why it can't connect to a platform. However, it can connect to a standard platform, to a side platform middle piece. So we could put in, but I can't do it here because that's it. We could put in these like this, and then put in the side platforms off of those. But there you go. And look at that. It even looks all right from underneath. But there, I think the other side is doing something weird. Nope, the other side's fine as well. So that works, and you can put a building on top of that. The other thing about the side platforms that I think I dismissed this just kind of straight away. If you build a 3x2 like that, and you want to put a building on top of it, it works fine. It puts a building absolutely perfectly, no issue whatsoever. However, if you build a 3x3, I believe it was. Oh. Nope. No, it's the other way. It's the other way. Sorry. You build a 4x3. You make it one longer than it needs to be, which you'd have to do because you just put the ropes in front of it. So you have to do that for the ropes. Let's just turn it around. Whatever. Yeah. It floats above. See, look, it floats above. And what I forgot about is there is a height changer up here. You can change the height of view things. So if you come down by one level, 2 level. Oh, that's working now. Sorry, this one here. Wrong button. Come down by one level. Here, which you can do by holding control and scrolling, holding Alt and scrolling with the mouse wheel. Sorry. So we'll put it here, and it doesn't fit here. But if we go Alt and down one, it'll fit there, and then we'll go back up again. It works. It's something to do with this has a hitbox above it, so when you're mousing over it, it's hitting this platform and believes it should be one above it. So, yeah, I don't know what it is there. So your option is to just not build the front row with the buildings. And then you can just put it in and then build the front rows afterwards, or do this. We have platforms back and lean over. There is another alternative we could do as well. Let me remove these here. These platforms float as well, which is quite nice. We could put them in the path and then build off the path. So that's quite nice. The other alternative as well is the pillars. The pillars was one thing that I got very confused on. I didn't see the point of having a 3-leg pillar that you then can't put on the corner of a building. It's like, to me, that looks like it should fit on the corner of a building, and then you can build platforms around above the building. But they're purely aesthetic, these things here. That's what I have to sign them off as in my brain. Not sign them off, but they are aesthetic. So you want to build you want to build a you can build something like that. Boom, and it looks nice. It looks nice. It's fine, and you can build it. It's fine. But these are essentially these, just without the roof on top. Each one of them is the same as a standard platform, just without the roof on top, and they're a damn sight cheaper too. So if you put this in here, that's the same as a platform. You can build a path on top of it. You can build a path below it. You can run power lines below it. You can do everything on top below that. Beavers would even walk on top of it, even though there's no platform there, which is odd, but they will. But essentially, those are just, they use 2 logs and do the same thing as this. So yeah, that's just what they have there. They are a cheap version of doing that there, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm being negative again now, I know, sorry, but there's something about a mod that replaces kind of the fundamentals of a game, like so you install a mod. So this takes 4 planks and 2 logs, and this does the same thing for only 2 logs. So therefore, why would I ever use a platform? I'd just use this all the time. It's just cheaper, and that is like, why? It's a bit weird. It's for us. Really, I feel like these should be more expensive. That would probably cover it, especially some of these. But anyway, let's not get to that. But what I can do with these, and I can do this with platforms as well. Well, I can't. Yes, I can do it with platforms as well, because the damn decoration mod. These ones here. None of these actually require metal, so we could go with these ones here. So the inverted slope at 3 long. So that will fit on top of there. It will also sit on top of there. It will happily sit on top of there. That's fine. However, my biggest issue with this one is that I now can't run the power up and through it, because it doesn't transmit power. I'd have to run the power out and up the back and in to get power above this platform. That's why I dismissed it from connecting to the edge, because it just would ruin the power system for me. However, we could use platforms or pillars or whichever, it doesn't really matter, and we could put them in here like this. So it'd have to be 3 tall all the way along, like this, and then we can put actually I think it has to be, I'm not sure if it needs to be 3 or 2 tall. I think it's got to be 3 tall, because the this is technically consuming the block like that. And then you can put platforms on like this, and that would work. That would work. And then we could put our lumber mills underneath that, like this. Okay. Let's come down by 1 and see whether we can actually come down by 1. I'm not sure, because I think because this is yeah, it can't go there, because it's, even though it's not technically touching that wheel, because the way it is, it doesn't it doesn't know it's not touching that wheel because it's the block is solid. So essentially this is exactly the same as having one of these 3x1 levy on top. So yeah, so we have to go up that high to do it as well, which, I mean, it isn't terrible, don't get me wrong, it isn't terrible at all. And because these are blocks here, we can run the power out of the wall, down and into it, fine. And the power can still come up from the back here. So that's an option we could use. That's fine. That's a possibility. It's an absolute possibility. I kind of think I'd rather go with the side panel ones, where we have the option of using one of those on the edge, and then a side panel comes off of it. Now I'd have to unlock the other side panels. That'd be fine. Oh, you can't do that because it's not high enough. But yeah, I think I'd rather do that than have the dam, simply because the dam wood is very chunky and big, and it would look beautiful in a dam, or if you're building something that's it would look. But I feel like it's too much. I'd have to getting the camera into here to do things would be a bit of a pain. Once it's built, we shouldn't need to get the camera in here to do things, but and you can use the height mod as well. I know you can use the height thing to change the height. So I don't know. Personally, I think I prefer if we went with if I got rid of this road up here for the moment, we'd have to build on top of this, and again we can, because the pillars are cheap, we could use just the pillars here. You know, you could put the pillars on top, boom, like that, boom. We can't do them there, we'd have to run and then these can go here on the edge, but I click individually, I can't actually drag to do these, like that. Get rid of that. And then we can do this like that, and I think that looks, well, it's pretty much the same as the dam one, but it's just because it's not a solid block, I think that looks better. And then we can still bring up power from behind with the universal power shafts, or yeah, we can run power up, not an issue at all. In fact, we don't need the universal power shafts here. We just need we just need a vertical power shaft. Let's unlock the vertical power shaft, and that, I believe, should be able to sit inside there. Yeah, that can sit inside there. Now, I don't know whether the vertical power shaft is considered a solid block anyway. Ooh. It's kind of difficult with the camera. Sorry, I'm swinging the camera around a lot, but it's kind of difficult to get the camera in the right places. Where's my... there. I don't know if that's hooked onto you or not. Hold on. Get rid of that one for a moment. That was interesting. Oh yeah, so that can connect to the power grid, so I don't even technically need the pillars here. We can get rid of the pillars. Put on, and that goes there. And that's fine. That would work. Like that. And that's just a vertical line that goes straight up. And then we can run off of this into the back of the buildings. It only needs to come up in one place. It doesn't need to come up in all these multiple places. But I kind of want to do that. The biggest problem to this is now I can't get the path through here anymore. So we can't run a path along. Which does mean building stuff's going to be kind of awkward. So there's no way I can run a power line up and have the path coming at the same time anyway. That's just not doable. So yeah, we'd have to figure out how to get the path up. Plus, the thing about this is that because this is universal with two, we can put the lumber mills underneath. That's fine, and then we can come this way and put the gear workshops on this side, and the path in the center can be whatever we want to put in there. So you know, we can use floating platforms again. Ooh, sorry, I'm confusing the life out of it. But I'm not sure if I want to use the floating platforms, because I'm not sure if I like that connection there to these is a bit bizarre. So the other option we got is to unlock the single side floating platform, single side platforms, and have these universal platforms on the end and in the center, and then do a single one up and down so it just doesn't arch underneath it. Or we could wait till we get some metal, do the 3 side platforms, put these in the center, and have the platforms come off either side. Which would work for us. So instead of going this way with them, we'd unlock the 3 ones. We'd go I can't even see them. I can't even. What's going on here? There. Boom. Got to get in really close to the mouse. I guess it's seeing something. Yeah, like that. And then you'd have this universal sort of platform floating in the center, and then they'd have platforms come off at either side. Like that. And you can build pillars up from the center as well if you want to. We can build pillars up to make it look like it's supporting it properly. I kind of like that. I do kind of like that, the whole having like it in the supporting center. And we'd also build ladders up as well. Every now and then we build ladders up into it so beavers that are here can come along and they go up the ladders. However, I don't know where we put the ladders because it would be a little bit weird to this. But yeah, I like the way these look. I like this support structure underneath. I really like the look of it. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go with that rather than a damn deco mod. I'm not going to sign off the damn deco mod completely because it does absolutely have its uses in places. You know, it can look very good, but for this purpose, it's too chunky. It just feels as if it's too chunky. So we want the 3x3 ones here. That's what we want. 3x3 ones here. So how about we get rid of I can't use the universal delete tool to get rid of them all. Because they don't have an anchor point. Okay, let's get rid of all of those as well for a minute, but not like that. So I kind of like the idea of doing it this way. So we're going to go with maybe put the storage on the end here. Well, that would make more sense to be in the center here. So like that, and then we'd have one like that. Okay. And then we go with the lumber mill, or lumber mills, I should say, here, and here. Now, that's a problem. I can't get power down to lumber mills now because of how I've designed this. The power line is one above, and that will not connect to this from here. So none of these would have power. So we'd have to go one up or move it one out from the wall. Or alternatively, put the storages this side of the road. Because then I can put a lumber mill in here and run power out of that hole there down and into the side of it. I think I'll do that. I think we'll go with that, and then we'll just put the storage over here. So logs will be over here. So all of these would have to get logs, and they'd have to come along to get this. The problem with this vertically, the biggest problem is that as you go up, obviously it's further distance to get to the storage. However, that's what you have haulers for. That's what they're for. They're to supply the buildings. So you just build more haulers, and everything will be fine. So yeah. So we do that, and then the other side of the road, we would have the gear workshops like this. Then over here we'd have something else, but and whatever over here. Probably something that's 4 big actually over here. Maybe smelters or something over here. We are going to have to unlock the smelter soon. But I don't want to unlock anything else. We've only got 1,000 sites. I want to use that 1,000 sites. I'm going to do it right now to unlock the observatory. Because right now we're using, we've got plenty of beaver spare, but we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make that. So 4 of these running all the time would make 4 science an hour. 4 beavers in here will make 50 science an hour, I think it is. That is assuming that 4 beavers, each one's 4 beavers. I don't know if this slows down. If it, I don't know if that number there is for 4 beavers in it or if it's for less. The only way to find out is to build it and figure it out from there. So, but I do want to build these here now. So let's do this, like that. I need to run power across the road and into here. That's kind of going to be awkward. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset them. All their doors are directly opposite each other, like this, and then we can run power at the end and in. And then we can still run ladders like up every, well, not every one, but you know, we can run a ladder up there and a ladder up there. Do that, and it can be up against the it can be up against any wall, doesn't matter which wall it goes up against. So we'll do this one up against that wall and we'll turn this one around here. So there we go, put on like that, and then power, we want to just come down with the power. Vertical power to straight. I think that only goes in and down, it doesn't go the other way. So there's very few power poles that are down. Like this one goes from this connection to down, but there's none that go from a down to a side connection. I can see. There's that one, but that one's straight through. I want this, but rotated 90 degrees. You know, so instead of coming out and down, it goes down and horizontal. This goes horizontal to vertical. I want a vertical to horizontal one, which yeah. There's also shaft tunnels and stuff as well, which I didn't really pay attention to. These could be useful. We could run power through there. Not that we need to, so we've got this universal power line running around all over the place. I kind of wish I'd have just gone for metal earlier and then made this entire levee out of universal power lines. So it's powered. I didn't really think about putting it on the second level, although I did, because over here we put it up, we put all the industry above with storages underneath them, which is fine. But because the Folktales storage, the underground pile is not, you can't build on top of it, it kind of defeats the object of trying to put log planks in here. So yeah, okay. So power, we want to, I do want to play with Flywheels as well, and that needs to be a thing here. We've got an infinite power map, so it's kind of like, I feel like this map would still be a challenge, even on, if you had droughts enabled. Because storing water would be, yeah, maybe this map on hard mode would be quite interesting. Anyway, there are 2 versions of this map as well. There's one that actually runs out of water during droughts and one that doesn't. There are things to do with the strength of these here. So, and I cannot remember for the life of me which version I'm playing on. How about we just use a standard high power shaft? How about we just do that? Bomb, and then we'll just use a standard corner there. Do the same here. Bomb with a power line. There you go. That just works. Let's just use the standard stuff. That just works. But there you go. Okay. And then the ladders will become the support pillars going up. I should probably put a ladder there as well. Let's do that. Let's make it a look. Make it look nice. So you come in. You have ladders on the left hand side. This one's got ladders on the right. This one's ladders on the left hand side. Not that it matters. It just looks that way. These are support pillars that go up. We want to go up one more, and then we'll have the platforms on top of that. Yep, the platforms on top of that, and then do it all again, and just continue all the way up and up and up and up and up into the sky. And the power line I mean, realistically, the vertical power line could actually be here on the end, and it could go up with them. I know we got this on the outside here, but if I'm transferring power through this and along, I would, yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to put a universal power shaft in here, which just connects to everything. And we're going to build those up in the sky, and we're just going to follow. That's just going to have a universal power shaft on the end going all the way up into the sky, so that not only is it getting power from this little connection here, as we go up further and we connect it to other things, it's powers from elsewhere. So because we'll run these up as well and connect to things. So yeah, okay, so there's that, cool. Now I want to make all this lower priority, okay, because I want to build a observatory, because we need one. And I'm just going to put it over here somewhere, literally just place it somewhere over here. I don't know why I left a 2 gap back there. I might even just put it right smack bang there on the end and remove the gear, although we need gears, don't we? Yeah, we need gears. And so we might have to wait for this to get built, and then we'll build the observatory. Yeah, let's wait for this to get built then. So let's change this back to be standard priority, and I want to increase the priority of the power lines because they're important, but I want to lower the priority of this power line on the end. I only want the bottom one to be a high priority. There you go. Okay, does that require gears? It does require gears. That's okay. So we'll do the power lines first, and then yeah. Okay, so we'll leave this here. There are sirens gone off outside. Apologies if you can hear that. And we will come back next time once this is all built. So yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Until then, as always, have fun.